entire session. Then there was a person from the entire proposition bench who highlighted the Battle of Saraighat. When I heard that Battle of Saraighat, I quite reminded of the great war which happened between the Mughals and the Ahams. We realized that why this battle actually happened. This battle happened to protect the indigenous communities, the rights of the indigenous communities and the heritage of these indigenous communities. And now in this moment of time, we see that the Ahams who have defeated the Mughals 17 times, we do not find a single chapter in our NCERT books, but we'll find the entire monastery of the Mughals to be found in not only 1, 2, 3 or 4, but around 5 to 6 chapters in our NCERT textbooks. That is hypocrisy, that is contradiction. Honorable Speaker Sir, if we look, the member of proposition who started the entire session, technically the mover of the house, highlighted about how the Bangladeshis are a threat to the region of Tripura. But that member of proposition also highlighted that the entire region of Assam have no threat to the Bangladeshis and there is no threat to the indigenous people of Assam, contradicting their own statement. And this, after hearing this contradiction, it quite reminds me of resembling. This statement resembles to an animal. Animal that is an elephant. Both the elephant and the statement have two tusks, one for showing and one for eating. Though the member of proposition tried to highlight in the statement a particular reason, they deflected and contradicted their own statements. Apart from that, moving on to the next argument, we are almost at the end of this debate, but till now the entire most important thing have not been highlighted, that whom do we consider as the indigenous people. In this motion, the entire motion should be further divided into two parts. Part 1 should speak, that is the threat to the identity of the indigenous people of Assam, and the second is the demographic changes. Now the demographic changes further could be divided into particular sections which have also not been highlighted. Now around 11 speakers have spoken for the motion and around 6 of them have mentioned that there is a threat to the identity of the indigenous people of Assam, but not because of the demographic changes. While the other 5 have mentioned that the demographic changes are not at all a threat, or there is even a threat to the identity of the indigenous people. I quite remember, Honorable Speaker Sir, I was in Dispo and I bought few books, and at the end I asked the shopkeeper, Dada, 155 taka holle? The shopkeeper mentioned that, Bhaiya, Asamiya nahi aata. Now, this is the district of Dispur, is the capital of Assam, and that district themselves, the moment we reach the number 20 in Assamese, we can clearly find out that not only the students but also adults who have grown into from this educational system could hardly can understand Assamese or the regional languages. We can take pride in wearing the Assamese gamosa, but why we take pride in this Assamese gamosa? Because it has been hand-woven and it's a part of culture. But the moment this entire thing due to the demographic changes have transferred from a heritageal product to a commercial product, we can clearly see that the gamosas which have been made and manufactured with the help of industrialization, we have clearly seen the degradation of quality, and that degradation of quality have defected and harmed our cultural identity which we are trying to thrive. And after hearing all the statements, and still the members of proposition are quite adamant to the statements and they changing the statements again and again and again, it quite reminds me, if a chameleon would have been present here, the chameleon would have felt insecure about his abilities, as the statements of the members of proposition changes faster than a chameleon even changes his color. Thank you, Honorable House. With this I rest my case, but definitely not my cause. Thank you so much, Honorable House.